Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Kati and I'm dreaming of a one book system, but I don't think that's possible in my case. So I try to minimize as good as I can, and I feel like, especially with the summer, with traveling, I would love to have everything in one book. Like, if I come up with an idea, if I have an appointment to put in my calendar, I would love that I could carry one book and have everything important like that in that. So I started thinking, and I want to explain what I did. Because I haven't done my 2024 lineup yet, because I wasn't doing videos at the beginning of the year, and then I keep changing it. So I don't know where is the right point of filming my lineup. So now I want to show you what I used the first half, or even, well, the first 5 months, well, some amount of the year, and what I'm changing now. So because I'm a bit sad that I don't get these things now in my 2024 lineup, because I haven't filmed it yet. You may have seen the video where I explained to you that I did a brain dump setup in mini rings. I can't say that I moved to the mini rings, because what I put in there was something that was missing again from my system. I'm struggling to have a system where to put my ideas and project notes and everything, and then still keep it like as a working system that works for my brain and how I'm thinking and how I want to organize and reorganize and so on. This whole change, I would say, started from me making this mini ring setup. So then I had my brain dump and projects and everything in here, but then I still had my calendar and planning in this, and then I still had my A6 Hobonichi Avec, where I did my, well, yes, that changed already. I did my daily planning in this I started at the end of 23 in an old Hobonichi Avec A6, and then I continued in here. And then when I made my mini ring setup, I changed my daily planning from this to this. So this, I tried to use this as an kind of as an daily log. So here is an example of me using it as a daily planning tool. So I wrote my tasks, any appointments or schedules, and then I had my food log here, and then this is an example of me using it only as a daily log, so just writing quickly down what happened, so when I would write my journal I would remember what happened. And then I had here in the back this Hobonichi A6 Weekly, where I do my health tracking, and I had my highlighter here to highlight the things that I have done, and then my Kavego to write. And I was loving this. This is my favorite Hobonichi cover, and and with the plastic on, I could carry this in the kitchen and everywhere, so I wouldn't worry about it. But can you imagine? This is nothing I want to carry with me, not even inside my home. I just can't, like, okay, I'm going to the kitchen, I take my 3 essential books with me if I come up with an idea, or if I get a schedule change, or if I eat something or get a health symptom, so that I would have the right book to write it down. No, this is not like, and even when traveling, this is not sustainable for me. I don't want to take 3 essential books plus my journal when I'm traveling. This is way too much for me, way too much. So I started thinking, oh boy, I started thinking. So let me explain. So I have here my Nolty and my this, I don't know, I'm trying to make sense here, so bear with me. I have here my Nolty that I use for, this is my calendar, this is my weekly planning. I was trying to do some Hobonichi, no, not Hobonichi, HB90, let me show you. So I was trying this thing. This even looks like a mess to me, so don't worry if you don't understand what's happening here. But I was trying to use this as a HB90 tracking tool. And then I had my waiting for list, my deadlines list, my weekly planning, and then here in the back I have my monthly planning, my monthly calendar. So this is a very important book. So you may understand why I would like to have at least these two. But I think this is too much. This is too much. So the idea and thought was how to combine these two. And they are completely different systems because this is a ring binder, so separate inserts, and this is a bound book. But I have tried and I'm not succeeding with brain dumping in a bound book because I like to reorganize and trash and add, and so that is, I would say, even impossible in a bound book. But then I kinda enjoy having my calendar and important things in a bound book, because when they are loose leaves I feel like I lose things, and then I don't have like a book to put on my shelf where to check things after the year has gone. So I enjoy both systems, and I was just trying to come up with an idea how to combine, or if I would put this in here or this in here. It just And then I have here my Midori mini pocket diary where I have done my, this is just so cute, but I think I can't, cute is not enough, I would put it that way. So I had my YouTube planning and I had my spending plans. I can link the video where I did that setup, and then I had my wish lists here in the bag. And I can say that this kinda hasn't been working. I don't know why. It's beautiful, and I come here when I want to plan YouTube videos because that is the only place where I have those plans. But I very rarely come here to look at my spending plan. I almost never look at my wish lists here, and that is maybe also because when I come up with something that I want, I write it here because I don't have this at hand, and because it's just an idea, I don't feel like it's worth putting in an permanent place. I just want to write it down and think about it if it really is something that I want. I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoy watching people explain what's working, what's not working, so that's why I decided to make this video. So I hope you enjoy it. Then I came up with the idea of pocket rings. So I have already tested this system out. I was just putting these back in places so you would see and I could have on film what I was using. So I have this old Smythson, well, I call it old. It's a few years old. I don't now remember which year I bought this. This is a Smythson from England. So a pocket rings. I'm sorry, I put this sticker here, so I'm just I enjoy it now. And yes, you can see I put my mini rings, inserts in pocket rings. I didn't change to pocket inserts. I put my mini rings inserts in here, and that worked just fine. The only things that I couldn't put here was this ruler. I should have like cut it a bit here to fit it, so I didn't do that at least yet. And then this I couldn't put because it's cut, so it has this tab here on top, so it didn't fit here with the rings. So everything else fit here nicely. Shall we see how long I was in the mini rings? Oh no, now I should have put here, well, I don't remember which day I changed, but I think that I still was, it hasn't been long. It has been like, I would say 2 days that I have been. So I was in this 5.5 weeks, maybe. So it's pretty good, right? Why pocket rings? Because then I can have my, oh, let's take this here, bookmark, because then I can have my Nolty with my mini rings. And the only thing, well, I'm sad about not using this because I had an excellent system for traveling. So when traveling, I didn't travel with this cover. I traveled with this. So this was perfect with my passport setup. So I just put it here. Ta-da! And I could travel with my calendar. This is like, I don't know, this is love for me. But I don't like to use this in everyday use, but for traveling, carrying this with me, I think this is perfect because nothing falls out, and I just think this is so beautiful. About the color, this is called deep patina, and I was wondering about that, but apparently when, is it copper? No, brass. When brass patinas, it goes green. Was it like that? Something turns green, so that's why this is called deep patina. So, I love it. But now I'm thinking that, yeah, that's why it's not working, because when I was in the system, I used the pen loop from this book, so then it wouldn't stick when I close it. Yeah, that's why it's not working now. But I can now use this, I think, for my journal, because I have the same system in my journal, that I have 2 notebooks with an elastic here. The reason is that I don't run out my journal. So because when I was traveling and I was like, at the end of this journal, I would have to take another journal with me, and I didn't enjoy that. So then I realized, okay, I put 2 notebooks. So when I'm over halfway through the second one, I will move this to the front and put a new one here. So then I don't have to worry about running out of pages when traveling, and also when I'm doing my weekly review, I at least have the past week still in here. So this system with 2 notebooks for my journal is now perfect. So I'm loving this. So I think now when I'm traveling, so that I will want to take my journal with me, I think I will put it in here. So then I can still use this, and that's great. So let's go back here. This will be a long one, I hope not. Well, let's see. Let's take this. Now I can take this elastic, and I have put here some washi so that the cover would hold up with the elastic. But now I don't need that anymore, so let's take that away. So now I just put this Nolty from this front secretarial pocket, and I started to use this pen loop, and here is a very small pen loop, so I can't fit anything in here. So I use it as a closure. So I put the pen hook from here. So then when I open it, the book stays closed. So I get to my rings immediately. So that is how I got my calendar with my brain dump. Then here my Midori. So here I had the YouTube plans, so I moved my YouTube plans to the monthly pages of my Nolty. So I did do it the same way with my sticky notes to plan my videos, and then my spending plan I put just on an insert here in my mini rings, and then my wish lists I also put just on inserts in my mini rings, and that was all. Well, some notes I also put here, so that was all what I had in here, so then I could just stop using this. And I'm sad about it because this is so cute, but I think I will still track here when I do videos, so I can then put this on my shelf and look backwards about my videos from this year. But now I'm thinking that I don't need to buy another one of these for 25. And I'm okay with it now because I got my favorite design for this year, so maybe I just have to skip this for next year if I'm not like changing something, so this would make sense again. So goodbye Midori mini pocket notes. Then here I have my health tracker, and I love this Hobonichi A6 Weekly. This is so I just love it. And I didn't end up using any of those. The sterling ink, yes, passport size. But then I realized that that's so much more expensive than this, and this works just fine. And I sold those, so I'm back in this. So I'm using this as a health tracker, and now I also moved here my food log, so which I kept in this A6 Avec. So I want to have this at hand, and I want to keep tracking my health things here. So I put this in the back pocket, and I have used this in a pocket 10 also, so I know it fits in a pocket size. So that's my setup now. Then this Avec. I had here in the month, I didn't, well, I had an idea for this, but I didn't have the time or opportunity to make it happen when I had the idea. I just had time to cover the old one, but the idea never came back, so I haven't used these. And then I started to use these monthly pages for exercise tracking, so I enjoyed that. So you can see that I got my life back in April, and in May I have been so much more active, so I'm happy about that. But I wanted to keep doing this, and I was thinking, well, where do I have a monthly view? The monthly view in this Nolty is a bit small, and I wanted to use that for my YouTube tracking. So then I came up that I have two Hobonichi weeks. And in this one I do my weekly review, so I check how well I have done with my HB90 goals and projects and tasks, and I only use the weekly pages for my weekly review. So I thought that, okay, well, I think that the monthly pages from the Hobonichi weeks could be perfect for this exercise tracking. And this is a reminder for me to check the year. So I did my April tracker in the 2025. So I did it, and then I was like checking, well, why doesn't my dates match up? And then I realized, okay, this is 25. So let's go back. So I have the spring weeks. So then I went here, and I think this will work just nice. I do enjoy this white paper, but I will live with this. So it's this is no use using an Avec just to do some exercise tracking. That's like such waste. So, and I think this is good because one of my HB90 goals is concerning my health. So I think it's then good that I can check back on how I was exercising when I do my weekly review. So I think that's actually perfect. Then the daily plans, I have my ring inserts, these Hobonichi Weekly ones. I do my daily planning in here. And also, I think I didn't say that in my previous video about the mini rings, but one reason why I went from A6 to the mini insert, and even from the mini in a 1/4 of the insert to do my daily planning, was that I can fit so many tasks in here. So many tasks that I never have time to do all of them. So I thought that, well, it's better that I have such small place for my daily tasks. So then I wouldn't overplan. I still can overplan. I can write so small and put so many tasks in here, but it's harder to overplan with this space than compared to this space. So that is good. Then I had it was last Friday, a week ago, I came up with a crazy idea. Then I haven't had this solution yet. So I was thinking, well, maybe because the A6 isn't working, I should go with the A5. I'm lucky that I didn't jump on that idea, but I was thinking that I would write a daily log, so track everything that I do in the day and get some accomplishment from that. But who has time to do that? I know. I then luckily I tried it in the A6. I can write a few tasks in the morning, and then the rest of the day I'm just doing. I'm not tracking. And then it's A5. I don't I don't think that would be a nice solution. I was thinking I would do the daily tracking, my food log, and then in the weekly pages, which the A5 has, I would do my health tracking, and then I had the monthly pages, I could do my exercise tracking, but then I would have an A5 book to carry with me, and that's not a good solution if I really think about it. If I want to track what I did during the day, well, here I have my AM PM journaling card. So I had here also some decorations, so I put them just in this cover. And then I have here my AM PM journaling card. I will put that there. And then I have here my weekly review note cards, and I will put them here, so I have everything important with me. So this is now out of use. Let's take the pens, let's take the book. And now this is kind of funny that, I don't know, was this the second or third time? At least maybe the second time I bought this Hobonichi A6 Avec. And also the previous time I stopped using it before the second half started. So now I can again sell the second half. And that's also one reason why I usually buy the Avec. So to keep it slim and to be able to sell the second half. Okay, I'm missing some pen loops, but I decided to do it like this for now. I could sew here a new pen loop for me. So what else? Yes, the HB90 tracking still. So that I decided to put in the weekly review book in the notes pages. So now I have everything in use from this Hobonichi weeks, which is great. And except this, I'm still thinking about the yearly view. But now this has so much more use and I'm so happy about it. So here I track my HB90 goals. So the colors are for my goals / projects and or themes, and then the numbers are for task blocks. And this is a mess because I just started it on, I think I started yesterday, and this I did some back planning, so, or backtracking, so that's why it's a mess. I'm still searching for how to do it nicely and so that it works. So this is now kind of the daily log of what I have done. And why I track these is to be able to be happy what I have done in the day. So I'm trying this now. So that's my system update. So I eliminated the A6 Hobonichi, I eliminated one traveler's or like passport TN setup. I eliminated my mini rings and put everything in this one pocket rings book, which is now pretty full. And then I already had the Hobonichi weeks, so I just now use it. I use it better, and the other book is for my tarot journaling. So, and I put here a platinum preppy that I had. Where did I have it? Yes, I did have this in the mini rings, so I put it now here because it's like the pen loop is so small, so I put it like that. So I just take it off from the cap, and here I just, this is not convenient, but I do it like this. So what I'm now thinking is, do I want a Nolty for next year, and if I want, what kind of? And of course also I always think about the A6 Weekly. Do I want to continue using it? And do I want to change to pocket inserts, or are these mini inserts the size that I love? And how to have 3 pens with me. So this is a bit tight fit with the cover, and of course you can now maybe guess that I'm thinking about, should I get a new pocket rings cover to accommodate better my setup? But if I'm changing the Nolty or the Hobonichi Weekly to something else, so if the pocket rings is not necessary, so if I would have a bigger mini rings, could I find something to track and plan in a mini ring size? I think that would be too small, because I have found also the calendar is a bit small in a passport size, so I don't know if that would be possible to find something that works. I'm always so jealous about those one book setups, and I can't with one book. I don't want to have everything in one book. But if I would I don't know if this is cheating, because I have like 3 books in one book. But they are in one cover, and maybe you understand that then when they are in one cover, it's easier for me to carry this with me, because when I just grab this, I know that I have everything to just write quick notes and plan and check and so on. So I'm kind of, I don't know, this feels, I don't know, I just enjoy this now, and I'm so tempted to get a bit bigger cover so things would fit more nicely. I don't know, But I'm so glad that I had this in my stash so that I can at least try this my one book solution out now. And I'm pretty glad about my minimizing. So when I would travel, I think I could, if it's a short trip, I could just take this. If it's a longer trip, I would take my journal also. But I don't think that I would take this. It depends of the trip, but I know that usually I don't have time for any tarot on trips, and on trips I'm probably not doing anything about my personal goals, and the exercise tracking I could do afterwards. So I don't think that I would need to take this. So I would have my travel setup minimized to this, or maybe I would probably it would be like this. This would be my travel setup, and this is so much more doable than what I had previously. So I'm pretty excited about testing this new system out when traveling next. Because last weekend I still had my old system, so I couldn't test this out. I'm pretty excited. So I'm now for one book June. And I don't know, I'm just, please help me. I don't know, should I buy a new cover or not? How long should I wait to buy a new cover? Would the new cover help me to be longer in this system? I don't know. There is still over half of this year left. So I still have 7 months in this Nolty. I have still 7 months in this Hobonichi Weekly. I don't know if I will last that long. I don't know. We will see. We will see. As I already said before, I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below, and I hope to see you down in the comments and in my next video. Bye bye.